Men, one thing we struggle with is working together. I heard a famous saying once upon a time that said, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. Go as a team. All right, welcome Kings and Queens. This is another section in our NBA Contenders Installment Series. Right now we have the Denver Nuggets, a.k.a. the Jokic Nuggets, a.k.a. Magic / Fat Pudge / he's beyond the Great White Hope. Like, I don't know, man.
No, boy, he got endless nicknames for a legend.
Hey, and he's so chill and modest. That's why I respect him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing extra. He ain't talking crazy. He's a respectable guy. But him and the Denver Nuggets, who last year finished 6th in the NBA. Six. And they
without Jamal Murray.
Exactly. Without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter missing half of the year.
Yep.
For the most part, and giving even ass basketball when he did play. The one thing I do agree with Michael Porter Jr. is his stances on the and his beliefs in that. I agree with you on that, Michael Porter. But other than that, you gotta change your game up, bro. They finished 6th in the West. The West was kind of up and down. Jokic, with all the injuries that he had, the fact that he won MVP and got them sixth seed shows how great of a player he is.
100%. Like, great season by Jokic.
Facts. And really the key things this year when it comes to them is health and hierarchy.
Yep. The Michael Porter Jr.'s and Jamal Murray coming back, that takes the load off of Jokic offensively
100%.
To where he could put more effort into defense. Because if you a real hooper, if you play any type of sport, you know going both sides, playing all out on offense, all out on defense is draining.
It's very draining.
So for him to be able to pass the ball and let other people go to work is going to open opportunities for him to play more defense.
Exactly. Now, it's obvious that Jokic the ball goes to him first. But you have players like Michael Porter Jr. who can be kind of delusional in how he plays basketball.
Did they do something differently, or what did you see in that second half?
No, I just didn't touch the ball. They didn't do anything differently.
From a standpoint of he's a jump shooter, his rebounding is below average, his defense is below average, and when you add that with Jamal Murray, who's only a one-way offensive player who can kind of pass, their ceiling is kind of stunted a little bit.
Yeah, and even Murray's passing is not like you said, it's kind of there, but
yeah, it's not elite. It's not like Trae Young where it's making the whole team better and lifting the team. So because of that, they have amazing pieces coming back. Like we said, the key players that they lost last year was Will Barton, Campazzo, Cousins. These are all key players who helped drag that team with Jokic to a 6 seed. A 6 seed, not even a playing game. He's a 6 seed, legitimate. And outside of those 3-4 players, Austin Rivers, that's the other one.
Austin Rivers, ooh.
Yeah, he lost Austin Rivers. Bol could have been somebody, but he was hurt for most of the year. Jermichael Green was somebody who guarded 3-4 positions, maybe 5 positions. That helped him a lot. Let's see when we go to our new addition. Jeff Green did come back. They also added Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who was a great shooter last time he played with LeBron. He's one of the best type of player you want to play with Jokic.
100%.
3-and-D player. You also add DeAndre Jordan, who's going to be a backup big.
Yep. You added Bruce Brown as well.
Bruce Brown, great pickup. Yep. All-around player. Peyton Watson, UCLA, was an All-American, high-level prospect. He kind of underperformed at UCLA, and he's still kind of raw, but he could be a great addition and learn from Aaron Gordon and what he does as an all-around player. And other than that, you're really relying on Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, Bones Highland, and Aaron Gordon. That's really the group that you're relying on. And as long as these players can understand where they fall in line, really it's going to be between Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon in terms of how the team flows outside of Jokic.
If this team reaches the potential, you know what I'm saying, and they learn to play together, this will be the top-rated offense in the league.
I agree. I can't disagree.
Just because Jokic, his ability to play, make, and score and do everything on the court, it elevates everybody. Like, that's legendary, generational type talent. The way he elevates everybody on the court around him.
That man is a god.
Nah, you're 1,000% right. And this year, the Nuggets, worst case scenario, they're gonna be like a 4 seed if people stay healthy.
Healthy, 100%.
Worst case scenario.
And this is with the entire league being healthy.
Exactly. Worst case scenario. If they are healthy and their chemistry is hitting and they're playing above average defense, like top 10 defense as a team, it could be 10, it could be 9. They are gonna be like a 60-win team and possibly in the conference finals. Because Jokic is another nightmare for Draymond. If you watch the Warriors play against the Denver Nuggets last year in the playoffs, you easily notice when a superstar goes against a team of good players. You notice it. You saw the same thing with Luka when he went against a team of good players. When LeBron did it for many years. That's the one thing about basketball is that team sports is a team sport for a reason. And when you get 5 players or 11 players that go against the 1 or 2 superstars, 8 to 9 times out of 10, the team that knows how to play together, that has the decent talent, is going to usually beat the 1 superstar or 2 superstars most of the time.
Exactly. One man can only do so much.
Exactly. That's why even, side note, men, one thing we struggle with is working together. I heard a famous saying once upon a time that said, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. Go as a team. And that's the key thing. You realize that if these teams want to get to their best potential, it's best when they're all doing well. And if Denver wants to get to their highest peak, we know what they can do if they get injured. Jokic is going to get them to playoffs, and he's going to probably win MVP. But when you give him a team, same thing with Luka, same thing with LeBron for many years, he's going to get conference finals. He's going to get somewhere close. You understand? And so because of that, their window is based off Jokic and the other ones.
And that's the thing. This entire team, they are pretty young. I would say all around pretty young. Even Jokic himself is a young star. So
yeah, I agree.
Their window is, like you said, contingent upon Jokic, how long if he decides to stay, Michael Porter Jr.'s health, Jamal Murray's health, you know, and how that everything flows, how the chemistry flows within that team. So honestly, their window from now up till the next 6 years, I'll give them that long window, and possibly even further, because that front office they have.
Great point.
You know,
Great
how
point.
historically they've been doing well with getting new talent or drafting late steals. Because if you look at their current roster, the players that are currently on the team right now, look at where they were drafted. Look at where Jokic was drafted. Look at where Jamal Murray was drafted.
Jokic was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. They didn't even show the screen. They didn't show him on the green screen. They didn't show his picture, nothing. There was a Taco Bell commercial on the bottom of the screen said Nuggets have selected Nikola Jokic.
2 things you only dreamed would come together.
So that just shows you that this is one thing I say for all teams have a chance, because if you can find a player randomly, Jokic was drafted second round. Murray was drafted outside of, I think, 10 or 9. Murray, who was once upon a time a #1 recruit, was drafted as in the teens because of his back injury. So, and even most of the superstars, when we go through the list, half the teams have stars drafted in the top 3. The other half have stars drafted outside top 10. So that's a great point. But Denver, Jokic, their general managers and front office and scouting are the 2 reasons why I agree with you that they have a 6-year window to possibly get a chip. Maybe 1 chip. Now here's the thing. Let's be realistic. The Warriors might get 3 or 4 chips in the next 6 years.
Yeah.
The Nets might get 1 or 2 in the next 3 years only.
Yeah, that's their window right there.
Yeah, Clippers is about 1 or 2 in the next 3 years.
Yep.
Denver and other teams we're going to name later is going to be contingent on that superstar. And because Denver particularly has a great front office, they have a 6-year window. So I definitely agree with that at that point 100%.
And like you just said, all those other teams factor in because those teams' windows are running short.
Exactly.
And the Nuggets have the longevity or the youth in their advantage right now. So let's see how that turns out.
Yeah, but it's just those injuries, like we said, with all the other teams we're going to mention.
Yep.
Their two key players, despite their youth, are already kind of suffering from serious injuries. So
shorten the regular season, man.
Hey, amen to
Cut
that.
that 82
Hey, that's a great point. And we'll definitely cover that in a whole new series, as well as rules that we think we need to be changed in the NBA. So with that being said, I have nothing else to add. Hey, they go as far as Jokic goes.
Hey, leave it at that.
You know what I'm saying? And you know Jokic gonna eat, whether on the court or off the court.
No
so make sure everybody around you eats, B.